And to London now, where dozens of protesters have gathered outside the Edgware United Synagogue. They're demanding the cancellation of an event being held there to promote the sale of land and property in occupied Palestinian territories and illegal Israeli settlements. Similar events were held earlier in the US, also spurring protests. More than 100 British MPs have signed a letter to the Foreign Secretary to cancel the Great Israeli Real Estate event. Well, let's now speak to one of the signatories calling for the UK government to take action. Layla Moran is a member of the British Parliament and is joining us from Oxford. Ms. Moran, thank you so much for being with us. So you are among more than 100 MPs calling for this event to be cancelled. What specifically makes this exhibition unacceptable in your view?
Well, first of all, there is nothing about the illegal settlements that is acceptable, full stop. The ICJ has made it patently clear the illegal occupation should end. That's been a number of years ago now. We're yet to wait for the British government to respond to that judgment. And yet they say over and over again that they should not be trading with illegal settlements, that they are trying to sanction the settlers and their extreme right representatives in the Israeli government like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich. And yet they have allowed this event to go ahead. Now, it's worth remembering this event is publicly advertised as being in coordination with an Israeli bank that actively helps to fund the building of settlements. And we know from the American versions of this event that it is Palestinian land. It's not anyone else's. It is Palestinians who have been displaced. It is their land that is being sold on British soil. It is a stain on the British public and the international rule of law that this event has been allowed to go ahead today. My understanding is that there are protests outside. My understanding is apparently there are even some protesters who managed to get inside to try and disrupt it. But the fact is it should never have gone ahead. The Metropolitan Police should have stopped it. And if the laws don't exist to do that, then we need to move swiftly to put an end to this kind of transaction happening on British soil.
Let me ask you about the laws, Ms. Moran. The Foreign Office, as you said, has condemned the exhibition and the Mayor of London called for its cancellation, but condemnation is not action. What concrete legal or administrative mechanisms exist to actually prevent these events from taking place in the first place?
Well, this is exactly the issue. And one of the things that I and my Liberal Democrat colleagues have been pushing on for years is a total ban on trade with Israeli settlements, but also that the sanctions that we put on individual settlers should extend to the organizations that fund them. Neither of those things are things that the government seem willing to do. And actually, you know, they hide behind, oh, it's too complicated, we can't tell. Well, if you start with a presumption of it shouldn't be allowed to happen, and it is your job, organization or person, to prove that this transaction did not in any way go to fund illegal settlements, then I think you'll find that business will bend over backwards to work out how to make sure their supply chains are done in such a way that is transparent. So I do believe that this is possible. So let's call a spade a spade. Why isn't the British government doing this? Well, of course, the geopolitics with Trump in America makes it all very difficult. I don't think that's good enough. We are better than that. We have a long-standing history in the region. I'm also part of a group who are calling on the British government to remember the part they played in the British mandate in Palestine. I'm afraid to say that it is not good enough to hide behind being scared of Trump and the Americans to stop us from doing the right thing. Those international laws that we claim to abide by were in part written by Britain in the beginning. We should be the ones upholding them and setting the standard, not cowering in the corner as we are currently.
Thank you so much, Ms. Moran, for talking to us about this. Thank you for joining us on Al Jazeera. Layla Moran, member of the British Parliament, joining us there from Oxford.